it comes down to the fact that they have this really nice combination of old blood and new blood. Right, so
well, there's no need to go into the maps. Yeah, we're going straight into it, so no map talk as we are going to the map. Our first map choice will be Snakewater, and we will be kicking things off into this middle thing. Let's see what players have got cooked up on this mid. So far, I'm seeing not too much cooked up on mid. Nobody going for the straight balls to the walls jump like the soldiers like to do on most of these Snakewater maps. They're playing it easy, feeling each other out here in this game. Charlie will be the first one to kind of jump in, go for an ambitious air shot, won't quite find the kill. Danny takes this time to actually spring the trap, and during all this they're actually taking a lot of skirmishers in this kitchen area, and they're winning out in this and bringing their numbers back here, Beta. And Charlie will get a Hail Mary final kill onto Shappy before his entire team wipes here on CSG.
Every point of aggression there just got rebuffed really quickly. Really nice job by Swift. If you stuck your nose across middle, they just instantly punished you. It was very nice to see. And Granary was never in any real danger, I don't feel like. It was just very clean, just clean up on this side of Swift Gaming. And they're going to have this full Uberat going into last. There is a sentry gun going up. There's a sniper looking at a door. Nothing that Swift should be unaware of or not expecting. Look like they're going to be going in through lower here, TurboTabs, or maybe even all the way up through shutter door.
Teasing us, thinking about lower, actually going through shutter instead. Mac really wants to push through shutter. They see it coming. They're already pre-spamming it here on CSG, and this is their map pick. This is they're going to be the sort of strong suit, the strongest start they could hope to expect. They take down the sentry gun already. They're trying to rotate to the other side. They popped Uber really early over on CSG to just kind of make sure that nobody loses themselves in all these little fights and skirmishes and things. They're spread a bit thinly, however, as Shappy's still deciding to stay in the fight while the rest of Swift do back out.
The big story there is that they were too slow. The fact that Connor was able to get that Uber is really bad for Swift. That is not something you should allow to happen when you get a full wipe on mid. You should have that full Uber ad on last. But as it is, they're a bit too slow, so hopefully they can wake up here, get some coffee in their veins or something, and do a better job of that. Actually, Warp's going to jump in and take down Yeehaw and Saw. They're taking down Haunts as well. This is really nice job by them again. Swift.
They're on the back foot here, Beta. They're being pushed all the way back from second, already out. No foothold to defend second whatsoever, and they've got an Uber charge pretty much to boot for Swift, so the threat of that alone has deterred CSG back to their last point. If they're quicker than the horses, maybe they might be able to get in time before Condor gets that Uber. He does get it right now. They're just going to try and throw Warped in, but Warped gets actually teleported over to the respawn queue via Scattergun.
It was a pretty common hold. Charlie's actually behind. Nobody saw him going.
Nobody's seen him. One rocket, two rocket, can't quite get the third as he hasn't got one chambered up, and they will pop on Gregory, and they are doing a good job of actually winning some of these skirmishes into lower. And and AMS is still going, however, pressuring poor Mac over, deterring him from going for that last point as well. I mean, they needed every single kill they needed over on CSG there, Beta. There was like, what, 2 armed men at that last?
That's pretty much it. There were a lot of players down. There's a scout hiding in the drop down that it's still called to this day, even though there's no drop down there. He's going in on last. This is very sneaky. There's a single scout on last. Okay, Soldier's back there to stop him as well.
Yeah,
Shappy
4
went
players.
For the play.
5 players actually came back for that last bit there, Beta. But yeah, they will try and do an old college retry here. They're checking cheese, checking the corners. No, looks like Swift is gifting this on a silver platter.
Yeah, they fear the Uber charge too much. It is a very big one. It's about 50% advantage right now. It's about 70 at the beginning of this push. So they're taking it quite slowly and swiftly. They don't want to throw in a soldier for free here. They're just going to slow it down a bit and make sure that Connor actually has to make some hard decisions. But they're going to jump on a soldier very quickly. Nice pipe from Fancy, going to take them down, and oh my god, Yeehaw, taken down by Shappy as well. So now all of a sudden this push is just not going to work out here for Comedy Short Gaming.
Yeah, they just back out completely. I think Swift were expecting them to still keep pushing here as they spend a long time in Saw and kind of recovering and just, I know, dusting off the blood there. But Comedy got short gaming. Feel like they're on two different pages. The flank team kind of going in balls to the walls while the rest of Comedy shorts kind of wavy. Oh, what a lovely trap coming out from fancy trap there. As Mac and Sneaky going down. That's a massive reason for them to push and keep going. They could even think about just leaving somebody on mid here, going for the forward respawn.
Yeah, if they could trap in Mac, that would be really good. But they're going to decide to just stack and see if they can get it before his spawn, and they do. Denying the Mac spawn is really nice. Very good decision making there from them. Shows that they're better than me, that's for sure. It's going to cause everyone to fall back with no stickies to hold anyone back. This is a lost cause on second. They will have a full Uber on last, but very nice job there to decide to just stack midpoint to deny the demo spawn.
Yeah, you can see Mac was trying to get to last as quickly as he could. Charlie goes in aggressive, tries to take out a soldier, not so much a high priority target, and poor Sneaky just kind of just raining hellfire all over Horns, trying to go for some big pick there over onto Swift, but it would yield none. But two soldiers is not the worst thing to throw away over on the Snakewater last, so they kind of turn into Sneaky on Swift to see if we can keep that advantage going.
We've seen this trend lately where teams will not push out a Snakewater last no matter how big of an advantage you get, so there's almost no reason not to send in your soldiers really often, really kind of recklessly, right? You can even send in a demo man or a scout or something to complement it. You can have a spy, sap, a sentry gun while you send in double soldiers, right? Because they're not going to push out anyway. That's been the trend that we've kind of seen lately, and now I'm just waiting for people to respond to that and kind of try to find ways to really abuse that trend.
Yeah, it might be due to the fact that that respawn has been pushed back just ever a little bit, so if you're running those off classes, it's a long trudge, or a longer trudge for these engineers to get back on the scout, get rolling out again over onto second. And plus you got that round reset, baby. It's like it never even needs to be a worry staying on your last too long.
Horn's gonna, I think he tried to jump in, maybe he just randomly suicide. I'm gonna be watching up for like banners or weird boots here. What do we get? Just gunboats. No, nothing to really get excited about. Oh, except
there was a sneaky headshot onto a fancy demo man there, but he was so buffed up. The man does survive with about a single digit of health left. But Swift, they're trying, lesson.
You've got this completely standard hold with the powerful center sentry, demo man holding right, soldier holding left, medics are standing near the. Oh, they even have a teleporter that goes back to spawn. It's a cute little extra thing they've got going for them.
There you go. The map has been balanced now. Now that long trudge back is not that big of a deal. So 2 minutes, well, close to 3 minutes left on this round timer. So they'll probably just run it back here over on Swift. It comes down to it, but it's still 0-0 apiece. Tension in this map here, Vita.
Yeah, and also worth, of course, realizing that they did win the first mid pretty handily. That's Swift, but okay, we're actually just going to get an Uber exchange here. Granary has still not been forced though. He is holding on to this Uber so long.
Well, that's a saddening sort of day, isn't it, for any sort of Uber just going out there completely being bounced up. But the maturity though to actually say no, we'll just go backwards. We won't actually overcommit with this Uber and try and force them.
Will they even push on it? That's the question, right? You know, I talked about how there's a tendency to just stay on last no matter what, and I mean, if this is the case, why not just do dumb Ubers? All right? Maybe you get the demo man and it's a real push. They didn't get him, and now they're not being punished for it. They're just standing back like normal, building Uber back up, and nothing really lost. It's just, except for time, I guess.
All right, Beta. Everyone's got their price, though. What do you think is just too juicy of an amount of people to lose and to not push out here?
I want to say a 4-man push or a 4-man sack is too much, right? Because you could do the like a full 4-man sack. Oh, we have AMS is in the skybox. Eventually going to get picked off by the center gun. Charlie.
So
down
I count three. Count them, Beta. 3.
Yeah.
Sneaky did go down during all that, so they might deter us ever so slightly, but it's enough for the Swift to kind of go fishing here, see if they can see where the rest of that CSG are, and oh no, I see them actually backing out. You're right, they want a fourth here if they want to push out on this site.
We're finding out what the limit is. 3 is not it, and Will we get a 4-man? They can do a 4-man before they do
hello,
this.
Fancy, going for the sentry gun, gets the force out, gets a lot of kills going as well. And they counter the Uber back in. Ams is going in, he's hungry, he takes a bite out of Granary. He's also trying to chew off Warped as well. And Danny's come back, he's wondering what sort of like bin fire have I come back to? My team isn't there anymore.
The 4-man sack turns into just a good push. That, like Charlie bomb onto the spawn, just took down 2 players. I didn't see if he synced up the rockets or if he just hit at a really opportune time. Either way, really great bomb. I think they were going for the 4-man sack, but hey, if it works, it works. They just realized what was going on, Ubered in there. The scout cleans up really well, and that's going to be 1-0.
Oh, this is the map picker Swift as well, so this might be a bit discouraging in the echoing halls of Mumble for Swift, but maybe they can shake it off here as they've still got 19 minutes left. Charles is going to start off this middle by just kind of reconnecting with his scouts, dealing with the poor lonely Chappie on this top area. Danny's probably next on the queue as actually gets launched a bit forward and helps Corndog take some damage here. They're pushing across, they want to get Corndog's life, but they're instead focusing on all the fragging classes here on Swift, and I think it will be to their victory here, Beta.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I thought it looked really good for Comedy Shorts Gaming on that mid, but just Danny managed to clean up just in time. AMS and Yeehaw didn't quite manage to get together. Haunt, or was it Charlie, didn't quite come back in time. I don't know. It seemed like it was going to be just a crumble coming out of Swift, but instead they just prevailed on mid. They're going in here onto the second point.
Haunts coming in, blindsiding Warp ever so slightly, and Ams, look at Ams, he's actually taken command. I'm the pocket now, I'm taking the medic where I want to go, and Corndog's just joining him. And yeah, what looked like a scary push out from Swift here, got swiftly turned it around. Oh, Haunt's coming back in again, trying to disrupt this SOAR area, and will go down, but has disfragmented this team ever so slightly. They will pop off and exchange Ubers here. It's a very strange exchange here, Beta, with both teams kind of grinding up against each other. Corndog thinks it's too rich for his blood, and he's going to get straight out of there. Charles too, and when the dust has settled, oh no, Charlie does go down, but yeah, when the dust settles, Swift actually takes second.
Yeah, very unfortunate for Charlie dying, just barely. But they're going to see a full-on push here. This is very ambitious, moving into them, but Hans has gone down already. They've taken this left side. Connor's so weak. He's on 16 HP. He eventually does get taken down. 2 people on the point, but this sentry gun is like on a 3K or something.
Oh, Charles just come back straight in time, and Gregory will actually back out here. 47 to recuperate for his team, and Charlie wants to find that medic, see where he can hunt him down. Instead settles for second point instead, and yeah, it was just very, very meat grindery in that last moment of the thing. There's some players going down to literally no reasons and all the reasons there on that last point. They're still going here, Peter. No time.
Gets slammed. Yeah, too aggressive for him. I think they need to just get out of there. Amos has gone spy. This is a weird time to go spy, which is, of course...
no, he bumped into walls. Sad days. Well, fortunately, it does mean that... actually, the 2 players down. This is a bit scary. If they will pop up early here on Swift, avoiding any snipers of early bomb plays. They've already got that scout on point. So much cap time. They put one scout onto it, pepper him off, and there it is, the 1-1 tie.
Yeah, not much of an Uber ad, but it was enough for them. They got onto the point very quickly. They played it out. They had just the scout on it, Shappy, the entire time, managed to cap it out. And so far, Swift, they seem to win these sort of team fight situations. Might be a sign that they've been together for quite a while. They have a bunch of experience together. We will see, but definitely a cool game so far. 1-1.
Alright, so both men arrived roughly at the same time, and all teams, nobody going straight balls to the walls. Charles really wants to just focus on this top area, while Haunt is much more into the thick of the actions of things. Danny will exchange and try and regain that top control. Recommits in now, but he's got no health to do both tasks. Does go down, and just so many dominoes falling on the Swiss side. They call it early, they back out, and they fold their cards.
Yeah, this time around, seemed like they played together around Connor a bit more than last time. They took down those soldiers very quickly as they bombed in. No luck at all for either Danny or Warped. So I think this is the first mid that Comedy Shorts Gaming has won. So should be interesting to see what they do with this situation. We've been here before, obviously. It's an Uber v Uber situation on last. There's no sentry gun left. There's still only a heavy. The sentry gun is being worked on in the corner, but it's not quite up yet here in mid.
Yeah, they have the sentry gun building now, and it's just a level 2, however. Oh, sorry, I thought I was going to sneeze. I'm just kind of waiting. I'm almost allergic to the kind of patient play of CSG here, but I guess they all come into this with no real advantage, and looks like not even a real plan to kind of force things out. Usually you see this time where Soldier gets thrown in. There you go. Pause has come in, gets most of his damage on the dispenser, however, and that can be repaired there, Peter.
I think they're just going to slowly power up. Going to start in by sending a soldier, then next time it's 2 soldiers, then after that they send maybe a scout more, and then after that they do the full 4-man.
Yeah, see, work up to the thing.
Yeah. That's pretty much what they did last time. So I'm kind of waiting for it to see if we get something similar again. They're not going to be running sniper or anything really weird like that. I don't see a banner. Oh. Never mind. I do see. Okay, that's a double sack, and we actually have the man treads right now on haunts. Just keep that in mind. It's not important in this very fight as they're holding the second point, but you know, man treads are better for bombing in.
Man, Danny is a commanding soldier over on this flank. Not only did he kill Charles, baited Ams into the sentry gun, but now he's picking on poor Condog, shooting a stray rocket in his face, showing him, don't push him, boy.
Yeah. Alright, let's see how they try to use it. They have 1 soldier on man treads, I believe. Or does Charlie also? Oh, yeah, I think. No,
just the 1-man treads and then some regular gunboats.
Yeah,
it looks like. So it's all eyes on Haunts, I guess, to take this commanding lead in. But it's going to be hard. A sentry gun is like that. It's 7 versus 6 right now.
First one in.
Charlie will take the brunt of that sentry gun thing. They could have focused down Shappy a bit more, but Shappy just actually does go down eventually in a small little exchange. But with 2 players down for CSG, I don't think that's going to be tasty enough for Swift to push out here.
It was a pretty good try. Like, it was really nice played by Charlie to go in, take a bunch of attention, and then Haunch just jumped into the sentry gun basically and hit a nice rocket onto Granary. Not quite enough to make him pop, but it was a valiant effort. And, you know, that was the 2-man. Now, will we see the 3-man? Oh, Charlie's spy. All right, and I think we have man treads again on Haunts. Yep, we do.
Where's the spy? Where is he? Let's have a look, Charlie. Let's see what you can take up here. It'll be pretty difficult, you know. Usually you see a lot of spies at this point of the game just rocking some sort of sapper play.
It's being bumped into, they're not noticing. It's pretty great.
Yeah, he's just slowly edging his way with that cloak and dagger, step by step, but with every time that ticks past, they've got to get a bit more paranoid here on Swift Gaming, and it looks like they will probably go for the sap play. Charlie's looking at the sentry gun, he's looking at the sniper as well.
He's actually in a really good spot to get the medic right now.
No, he wants to settle for the sniper instead. I'm not so sure about this play. I mean, what is that sniper really stopping you from? But I guess it's a 3 kill. Maybe it's more of that style of, you know, just kill the sniper and then just go recommit in. But so in all the chaos that's happened, he's trying to get the stab onto
Oh, Connor
Mac.
goes down though. Oh no, this has all gone to shit. But is this enough to push off of? Is the question, right? Will they push for anything? Is this just no? You never get punished. You can do whatever you want. Okay, finally.
Alright, well, that's answered your questions. And yeah, so Mac has dared to step a foot out, and a foot was too far. He will go down. No demo man. It's got to be tempting here for CSG. Oh, they will lose Charlie to the sniper. That's a revenge kill from that backstab earlier. Horns is jumping in and sends Gregory into the air. They're shooting him with some odd 6 damage here and there from the scouts, but Ams will get punished by the Chappie sniper, and it's a force to be reckoned with, Peter. He's on a bit of a kill streak now.
Yeah, we have one out here. And actually, are they actually going to do this?
Another trap killing off Chappie. Warps is also picked off by these selective fire of these soldiers as well, and they just back out. The stalemate has happened. I guess this is what happens when the timer gets low ticking down, people get a bit loosey-goosey with their plays, and yeah, we'll go back to a round reset. It will be another mid.
Yep, this is what we've been seeing. Like, Snakewater is just the best map for this. That sentry gun is just so powerful, it's so difficult to break. And we're on another mid. They've been favoring Swift, but maybe that has been changing a little bit at least. But let's see how Comedy Short Gaming actually try to play this.
Yep. All quiet on the western front. Charles will be the first one to jump in again. Horns does the actual jump yet again. Mac does go down very early to an aggressive yeehaw running across point here. So this is going to free up a bit of CSG, but they reconnect here, they recommit, and they try to link up over on Swift to get a nice solid amount of damage focused on that one area CSG were occupying, and it's getting a bit more of a DM server at this point now. The only difference they have is they have heals on Swift Gaming, and they're trying to see if they can just catch Gregory off blindsided, but he will be protected off by Sneaky.
Yeah, AMS is on mid. I think we're going to get another mid-fight-ish type of deal. Obviously, Gregory has the Uber, so it's not going to be a real fight. It's just going to be a matter of him trying to pressure them out a bit, but they decide not to even play with fire like that.
Behold, that was the fight. One scattergun, one rocket, and they're out of there.
Yeah. You know, I expect...
Oh no, Max Sticky's been launched in the wrong direction. Max launched onto grass on his own, very low, and I guess he was very much a distraction for a bit. My camera went high in the sky. I'm not sure if the rest of CSG did, but no, they had their eyes squarely on the rest of Swift members. There's two ways to get sent to heaven, Beater. Death and that. It's sad news, and now in the desperation they do throw in the last few players they have at Corndog, see if they get things going. Could things gotten any worse from that sticky jump?
That was just comically bad push. Everything went wrong, including Gregory dropping there to a synced up Sticky and Rocket. Never saw it coming, and he's going to go down. Full Uber ad right now. Greggy's only on 10%, so they actually have quite a lot of time. They don't want to idle too much. We saw what happened before when you were too slow to push, but Comedy Short Gaming, they have a lot of time.
Another snipe from the forward respawn. He will rotate back round now, so he gets the moral victory, I guess, just shooting off one random player. 100% Uber charge over on CSG. They might have lost a scab, but it won't deter them. They've got a Sentinel to deal with, dealt with, and now it's time to get some players on the point. They will kill off AMS, trying to kind of put his foot on that point as well, and the Swift soldiers do come back out of the woodworks when that Uber charges come out and cleared, and yep, it will be a very, very nice defense from Swift.
Yeah, that scalping was a lot more important than I think we realized. Just not having that extra scout to put pressure on the point or do damage or transport the medic around makes a big difference in these kind of pushes. So it really worked out for them. I don't see anything too sneaky. You have Charlie in spawn, but no one else is really in a position to jump in and maybe get the force out of Gregory. Charlie has been spotted now as well. Didn't hit a shot, didn't hit anything important. But yeah, I think Connor's going to be able to get this Uber in time. So exchanging the Uber for the point there, it's kind of fine for both teams. And Mac is pretty aggressively pushing in here.
What? He's in. He's forced out Corndog during all of this, and they're just rotating around over on Swift. They felt a lot of hate on that grass area, so they decided to go around the other way instead. They've actually cut off the exit way for CSG, and Corndog will go down now. And the rest of CSG a little lost. They're trying to just pick off any sort of players they can find stranded on their own against the blob of Swift, and Fancy actually gets out.
Oh, he didn't get out anyway.
Oh dear.
Yeah, and he just cleans him up. He tried to jump out, but he just caught the tail end of a rocket there. Heavy's on the point. Can he do anything?
Oh, and cleaned really quickly as well. Corndog! He's taken matters into his own hands, or his own saw. Will get cleaned up. He's got potential to send a bind, but they do get around for Swift on their map choice.
Yeah, is Connor okay? He didn't drop a bind on that? Are we sure this is the real Connor?
We need a mental analysis straight after the games, but I guess there is one thing, throwing a bind out as your team is losing.
That has never stopped him ever. Like, he didn't used to Like, he used to drop the bind, got us all when he didn't get us all, and now he actually got us all and a kill and everything, and he doesn't drop the bind.
Maybe that's tilting it a bit, so... Alright, another mid. And it's just the same sort of troops going over again. Charles doing the semi-jump, Hans doing the real jump, and then Danny following off against everybody else while the scouts are trying to clean up. And it's about 50-50 on who's running things more successfully. Charles had a much better time just kind of running around in the saw area, whilst...
He's going to try to block the point, I think.
He is good. Oh, actually gets the kill onto Charlie. That's kind of annoying, but no real great consequence here. They do have a full 100% Uber ad going into last. Count it, as this is their best chance here at getting that tying up round.
Yeah, and not having a soldier and pushing into last is not nearly as important as not having a scout. So they can pretty much go whenever they want. Maybe they want to get him in there, but no. They're just going to go without Charlie, just taking in a demo and a scout, as you normally do. This medic is not long for this world. Gregory goes down. Everyone has been kind of rotated to this right side, and they're getting so many kills. It's just Danny on top of this house, but I don't think he's going to be able to survive for very long. Very clean push.
Yeah, it was maybe a bit panic stations there for the soldiers of Swift, as everyone just kind of poured in, and they got the kill they wanted. They were maybe relying on that Gregory safety Uber too much, as they did take that out of the equation, and they were just spread too thin, too evenly. No easy pickings here on CSG during that push, so a round well earned as we're going into another mid.
Yeah, very clean by them. We've seen the pretty passive mid coming out here on Comedy Short Gaming, where they just focus on cleaning up people jumping that med. But Charlie's going to jump in very aggressively this time around. Actually does a loop-to-loop, not a real jump. And here comes Warp. Gets taken down immediately. They've basically been...
Very defensive.
Just baited into jumping there. You thought we were being aggressive? Nah, Danny jumps in though. Kenny salvages. No, gets cleaned up. The bait is real here, TurboTabs.
Yeah, that was a very impressive play. When you have such a very successful mid as the CSG had previously, you know that Swift are likely going to turn things into a more defensive manner. So if you could just isolate and really control that few aggressors they'll have, or the fewer aggressors they'll have on that mid, you're probably going to start those dominoes falling in your favor if you're CSG, and it worked out flawlessly.
Yeah, we have a problem right now is that they didn't capture mid here in CSG. They're being pressured on second point. They don't have any scouts at all. They lost Yeehaw in the shuffle on last. They're going to lose so many players. Yeah, they were too far forward. They were spread too thin. Very unfortunate that they didn't have that midpoint.
They're still chasing here. Warp's counting names and realizes that it's just a few players here on his sightlines. They actually pop and commit Uber on CSG. They don't want to give up mid without a fight. They take that fight over on Swift and respond in kind as well. And the respawners are a little bit on the side of CSG, but nobody really dies or exchanges or trades or nothing. So it's that advantage is all for nothing.
Yeah, now Fancy's going to have some sticky traps lying around. There's a single scout in right now. He's kind of isolated, but Hawk's going to just basically get baited in there. Danny will be taken down as well. Sneaky in the lower ground, though. He's going to make his way in. This is a really big flank. Everyone's just collapsing here on the side of CSG. AMS is the last person alive on this fence. He's dancing for a while. Charlie comes in to try and save it, but no. Swift just takes this fight really commandingly.
Yeah, the problem between the two teams there was Swift only needed 4 players on that grass area, whilst the two were flanking around, and all of CSG were all focused on that grass area. Nothing was really being accomplished with those extra 2 bodies. So there will be a third round on the board for Swift here, and 1 minute left. They're looking cushy here on this map.
Is a very good position. This needs to be an extremely fast round for Comedy Shorts Gaming. Otherwise, they're going to be dropping the first map. A bit surprising to me. I thought they were definitely the favorites going into this, but now they just need to get some cap time really quickly here if they want to get this game going. They're going to take down the Devilman back immediately. Connor will go down, though. That's going to make it very quickly. They're going to win this mid for sure.
They do lose Corndog, however, and they have to already send 2 weak players going into second as well. They did wipe the enemy team, but they'll have a couple coming back and respawn. 50 seconds left. It is still possible here. Already peeking into last is one of the soldiers.
Yeah, Haunt is really far forward. You should probably just get some cap time in at this point. So You know, it's not the worst situation in the world. They're going to have about 30
Oh, a
seconds.
Kritzkrieg coming out from Corndog here, and they want to recommit in on Swift. They realise that it's a long walk all the way to second here. They've rejoined now. They've lost Haunts in this fight. Danny's on Corndog. And yeah, they're trying to block the point. It's 1 times cap, however. Oh, can't quite get it. Sad days. Maybe if it was a role reversal and they had a scout instead and a soldier who'd be blocking these points. Charles falls to a clumsy and painful death over on second, and with the final seconds ticking off, it will be Swift that will take away this map.
Yeah, by the skin of their teeth, they pull out that win. That was so close to getting to overtime here, but Swift Gaming, they take Snakewater 3-2. They looked pretty bad in the very beginning. It looked like they were just being outmatched for a little while there, but they came back and they looked very strong, especially in the team fights. They had so much success, and it's definitely something that I suspect just has to do with them being a more stable team that's been together longer.
Yeah, it was a kind of a clowny game from both teams. Like, things going desperately wrong. I think the most impressive thing I thought was not even to the winning team, but CSG adaptations towards the mid, as Swift were the ones kind of commanding the mid, as they probably would think so, as it was their map pick. It's usually the one that you go with the most, is you define mids on. But CSG really impressed me with their adaptation.
Yeah, indeed. Are the logs still dead, or did the website actually come back up again?
I see some logs. Logs.
Yeah, okay. The website's back up again. Classic hiccup. So let's take a look at this, and we can see it was very close. So what I'm seeing is that like you had some really high performers on CSG, and then you had Swift Gaming with the more kills by quite a big margin.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The only thing that most probably changed about this was maybe the differences in medic deaths and kills. Granary only had really the 1 drop, and it was kind of, they were pretty much on the back foot anyway. Things were going way wrong before that drop even got involved, whilst Corndog is almost 50% more deaths. Just kind of leads to the signs of a team all in array here, or they get punished much harder in their mistakes. And Swift, while they did get the odd little moments, like Mac would just absorb one clowny death after another, they kind of solidified and snowballed a bit more solidly than CSG. So nothing really outlined here. Fancy turning up a little bit with some nice little sticky kills here and there quite consistently. So that was nice to see.
Yeah, very, very solid performance coming out of him. He's one of the relative newcomers to Prem, so it's pretty cool to see him in one of these up-and-coming teams where you have some real
potential.
Both potential, but also like some real veterans of the scene as well.
He's got some teaching opportunities here.
Yeah, but I will also say, like, the way that Swift has so many more kills is probably because they were holding last more. And
they were throwing bodies a little bit. They threw 4 bodies at one point, and that's got to be kicking them in the back of the head there over on CSG. A lot of time was wasted just getting that round reset, and who knows, we've got a couple of more seconds on those last points might make you not so rushy over into that last final moments of the game.
Like, we were either like half a second or 1 pain train away from from this map being completely different. So I don't think you can look at the logs and say this is why they won. I think it was extremely close.
Yeah, it was extremely close. All right, so we're going into our second map. This will be the pick for CSG. So be interesting to see. They've decided to pick Granary. Is that a shocking pick to you at all, Beta, looking at their team at all?
No, it's not that shocking, but I'm not quite sure what the why they picked the maps they did. I can't really tell you. I know they mostly picked the maps that I don't like. So I think Granary is the map I like the most, but otherwise we're playing Snakewater and Process, but not Sunshine at least. But we're playing all the slow maps today.
Well, I guess this does enable the demo man a bit more, I suppose, going into it. And Fancy was I don't know. Maybe it's just because I only remember those points, like that double sticky jump from Mac, and those other little moments where he pops out and gets immediately minced as well. But Mac's contribution is much more on a macro level. You don't really see those sort of like fancy pipes or anything like that. While Fancy was just kind of rolling over mid and just kind of decided to rock the pipe thing. If I run over the mid and I had pipes out, people would be like, "What the hell are you doing, kid?" But when Fancy does it, well, it looks fine. It looks okay. It actually works out somehow.
Yeah. Well, speaking of mid and pipes, I really hope we actually get to see some stock pipes on this mid. You really should do it. It's so good. And they're not even like objectively worse than the Iron Bomber anymore, you know?
Oh yeah.
They just argue, they're just consent. I think we can all agree that in general, Iron Bomber is probably better than the pipes, but like on this mid in particular,
yeah, they travel
angles,
far. They travel far in this long flat plane. You can just send them on over in a huge arc.
yeah, and they just explode in head height. It's so powerful, and I know you don't always get to use it, but sometimes you do. And just the fact that people can't stand and hide in the corners and be safe, that is in and of itself can just have a passive effect. But either way, I hope we get to see that. And also, I hope we get to see Haunts shine a bit more on this map. I think it's going to be a lot easier on Granary than on Snakewater. He got to do a lot of suiciding. So hopefully this time around, he's going to be able to be a bit more, I don't know, flexible in his role and what he gets to do.
And also, I don't think Shappy will be quite as enabled on this map as Sniper as he was kind of hoping. The Sniper here is not as friendly as it is on the map of Snakewater. So, yeah. It is a bit harder for Swift, no doubt. But Granary's a strange map. It's one of those maps where you can play really slow, really grindy if you want to. So if they can just sneak out that first round here, Beta, they might have the recipe here for an easy best of 3.
Yeah, it can be very difficult to push from mid into second, and it can also be very difficult to push from second into mid. So that's usually where we will see the big stalemate happening. But there are ways of counteracting this, kind of very similar to what you see on last points on Snakewater. But unlike last on Snakewater, people will actually push into mid if you sack too many players. Right? If you lose 2 soldiers, they're probably going to actually do something about it and try to play for some sort of advantage. So it should be more entertaining, in my opinion. And last and second, they tend to be more fun. You can do stuff like, this is a good banner map in general.
Oh, yeah. It's you need basically finger air quotes ultimates, I guess, to kind of carry over into other parts of the map. Because whilst you spend 1 Uber at one place, you still have need more winning to keep going into other parts of this huge ass map. So teams do like to run those banners a lot, maybe even 2, if they can afford the sort of boxier gameplay. But Beta, I guess we can call into question a topic I like to say I was inspired by watching a Pappy stream before here. It was the mental capacity of these teams and these players. And with Swift winning out here against some of these names over on CSG, do you think they feel like they might be the stronger ones in this little matchup here, and they've lost the first map? Do you think they might be tilted at all?
Maybe they could be. I could definitely see like Connor and Charlie being a bit tilted, but I'm not sure how hard they're taking it. I'm sure like they know it was really close. It would be a different thing if they lost like 5-1 or 5-0 or something. Then I think they would be absolutely gutted because they should know that. Just looking at the players, they probably have the advantage, but the fact that they lost in as close of a match as they did, I think that's going to help them realize that, if we just played a bit better, we would have had this. And, you're very automatically just attuned to the fact that if you just didn't make a couple of mistakes, you would have won. And that's going to automatically make you think, what could I have done differently? As opposed to, this is terrible, this is trash, I hate this, why is this so dumb, right? Because that can be the mindset you're in when you just lose and you're feeling down.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Well, we're still waiting for the players to kind of get set up here. I guess everyone's having a cigarette and final map talks. I think the countdown's kind of going now, so no more fun topics for me or you, as we're going into our second map of this best of 3 of our round 2 of the Prem qualifiers for the autumn season of 6v6 of 2022, or season 43, whatever you want to call it here, of this ETF2L match. CSG versus SVIFT. Already I'm seeing on mid is traditional rollouts coming out from Fantasy, coming out from Mac, and the scouts perching themselves high onto these tower-like places, and the soldiers of CSG trying to spend so much time to find some players whilst they will get launched over. And Corndog is meeting the end meat of it. We'll get a SVIFT sort of soldier to the face, and it's now turned into a DM fest as medics have been taken out, and they've got a combination of hit scan and explosive power for SVIFT, and it will be leading to a SVIFT mid. Good start here, Peter.
Yeah, indeed. It's a pretty classic Granary mid where everyone just dies. You just have a few stragglers that actually gets to live. But this is one of those maps where if you like to play safe and nice and secure as a medic where you never die, have this really passive style, yeah, you're out of luck, man, because you're going to get bombed and there's nothing you can really do about it. You can try and jump and dodge and stuff, but if they hit the rocket, you're kind of done for. And you're always next to a wall or a crate or something. So it's very, very difficult to actually survive this mid. So medics tend to die, which is why you see soldiers bomb for the medic really aggressively, and then when they don't get the medic, they wipe really heavily, and that's where you could push to last and you have like a 50-second round. But both medics die here. They're going to be taking out or setting up camp in this whole yard area. This is the 7-point map syndrome kind of coming into Granary, right, where they've taken the half point here. I have seen maps where they moved the camp point outside. That was a really bad idea. But yeah.
Oh God! Wow, I forgot about that. Yeah. Yeah. The only things of note here was they did have a bit of Uber's advantage for CSG, but they had so much respect for SVIFT in all this that they just didn't decide to play off that and everything. And Mac did a good job as well as getting on his Hightail horse, locking down that. I guess that 5th 5 out of 7 part of the map.
Oh, we have a soldier jumping in. Gets onto Connor almost, at least he gets some splash onto him. What will get taken down. AMS tries to go for a counter sack, gets taken down, and actually Hawk will go down as well. So this is looking pretty dicey. You can definitely counter right back in here and put a ton of pressure on if you're SVIFT.
Yeah, it's a lot of work on Fancy's shoulders now, as he's going to have to be the major spamming force for this team, and they're going to see if they can just weasel this point away from them, just kind of tiptoeing on there, and that will work out, and they don't want to risk it here for CSG. They take the L and they head back outside.
Take it slow, nice and easy. You can definitely put a sentry gun up here on this last point, but there's nothing less. There's just 2 little hummingbees worth of scouts getting ready to shoot down any soldiers coming in here. But if they want to go for a suicide, this is a great time to do it. Danny and Warp.
They're buffing up Warps. They're letting Mac come in to do some spam as well. Launches Corndog off in the sky. They're trying to throw pipes along his way, and they try to get greedy, get the Mac kill. He's somewhat caught in an awful position, but does get his butt out of the danger zone, and yeah, Corndog's life was slightly threatened, but not really in guarantee there.
Yeah, he did a nice surf. Very difficult to actually take him down. Dispenser has gone down.
Whoa!
Secondary healer has been dispatched.
Oh no, so the secondary shooter's been dispatched as well, and that's for free, so they might see this as, oh my God, and he just get fucking paddle spanked by Charlie there. Okay, well, that's changed the morale of this. Who needs a sentry gun and dispenser? We got air shots like that. Oh, baby.
Warped on the flank. He's looking to get some spam on. I think they're just going to try and slowly take over this point. They're not going to be comfortable just sitting back on last, I don't think. They want to put on as much pressure as they can while they're man up. 2 spawners are about to come back in here. Oh, AMS is taking so much damage. I think they're about to call it here. I think they're just going to fall back to last. Can't really do much. Haunt's going to be the last man out. And he could maybe even go for a banner or something at this point, because we're back to even Ubers here, TurboTabs.
Oh, they're doing the same play again. Bringing Mac outside, letting Danny go in and see if they can get on top of Corndog. A nice solid rocket, and Corndog was definitely justified in using that Uber charge there, as I would have expected the rocket to come in now. They even threw in a scout to boot for SVIFT, and they're holding outside in the safety shutter area. They will pop on second to keep that point from capping, but it's a long, awkward walk to chase out these players, and they have to decide whether or not they're going to commit or cower, as they decide to cower out. Whilst in all of that was happening, Charlie was trying to cause some ruckus behind.
Oh, he caused some ruckus. He caused the medic to die. That's some ruckus for you right there. That's going to make the entire difference. Mac went down as well. Those are just the two most important players in the entire team. Shappy is going to go behind lines. That's going to cause them to actually have to deal with him before they move forward here.
Oh my! He actually won the 1v1 against Yeehaw there. Can you call it a 1v1? It's more like a 4v1, as they will bring some players back. And during all this, they do cap off second over on CSG, as it was kind of an annoying thing. Warped. In a weird place on that box, seeing if we can catch somebody around that corner. Danny jumps forward, plays off and gets the kill onto Fancy. Was not expecting a second soldier on his plate there, and they back off with the rest of Swift, keeping Gregory alive.
Yeah, they don't have Mac here forward to actually put up some good sticky traps. Well, I say that he just put them up now, and Charlie, I think he spotted it as well. So I think they're not going to be actually able to push in onto this Swift team. They're holding far back, safe and sound. Connor doesn't want to risk it here. They're going to set up on second. I blame them not too much, but maybe a little bit. They could have probably played it a bit more aggressively there, but then again, it was probably a sensible idea to just not go all in all the time.
They're definitely folding a lot more with every single passing second of this Granary map. They throw in warps and the pipes, scouts, and scatterguns and rockets to boot. Finally gets the kill onto him, and Haunts has that code of Roma soldier. See one Roma die, I must die too.
Yeah, we have a soldier. He sees the same thing. Dodges these rockets, but can't dodge the scattergun. He's going to go down as well.
Is it Charlie's turn now? Where is he? He's hanging out with the rest of the group, who are actually pushing in as a unit over in this corner. A bit unprecedented here, as they've lost a few players going pushing in. They decide to back out now, but Warp might have their number. Catches up, tries to get aggressive onto them. Corndog launched awkwardly, has to go into the corner. Scout trying to shoot and pepper him. Corner, literally back to the wall, and will not pop this Corndog.
Yeah, Mac went down in the shuffle as well. Yeehaw traded for him. So this is a mid-win for sure coming out of CSG. They probably can't go on to second point, but overall, that worked out really well for them. Very nice aggression coming out here. Mac setting up some sticky traps again, so now we are in the exact opposite situation. Will we see another carousel of soldier suicides, or are we going to see some sort of other play?
I do see this trend happen a lot with these carousel things. One team takes a very ambitious push, they decide to back out, the enemy team tries to punish them, but then that punishment gets punished and turned around on them, and it was actually just the ticket they needed to make them risk some things here over on Swift, and it's got to hurt, you know. You're just doing the thing that you're supposed to do in TF2 and you lose somehow.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost an art of a bygone era where you send in the counter sack super fast so they can't adjust to it quickly enough. You know, Drac used to be the master of doing this. Haun's in a lot of trouble there. Gonna barely manage to limp out. He's fine. But right now it's just spam being exchanged. And this is where the banners would have been really nice to have, because you're just kind of pumping random damage into each other that's not enough to kill you.
Yeah, it's we're looking on the Haunts, but the scouts are really on top of the job. As soon as they see a soldier approach a doorway, they're on high alert and high deniability mode for these soldier bombs to come in. They're going to have to paint things clever. Charlie maybe finds an opening. It's kind of a... I mean, he just takes a nice tour of the map, but maybe that was a distraction play. Get some shots out of the chamber, but Haunts was like, nuh-uh, kid, I'm not going in there.
Yeah, it's kind of...
Oh, Charles! Oh, he actually goes in and gets the kind of pressure onto Mac. He did not see that coming, and during all of this panic, when they got the Devilman down, they've gone in a doorway for free for CSG. They've ruptured this flank here, Beater.
Gregory's so weak as well, he goes down! Oh my god, Yeehaw takes him down. The spam was so heavy.
Corndog pops a zoo as well during all of that pressure coming out from the leftover remnants of this Swift team. Everyone's getting Ubered on second. It's making things actually a bit slower to go. They find the kill onto Danny. Granary. They're in tatters here. Max comes back to like real no defense on last. He's already being pressured here, but they absorb that soldier and they just cause a distraction long enough for that cat to go off for CSG.
We love to see it, just the non-stop pressure just being enough there. It was pretty lucky that they got that cap out. AMS was out of ammo. I think he had like 3 shots left in his scattergun, so he wasn't going to be much help in a prolonged fight. But they won that off of momentum alone, and I'm really happy to see it because it was just like a single soldier pick. That's how it all started, and then they just used that to get some positioning, and then they got the kill out of that as well. Really nice stuff.
So Charlie running around the roses. Nobody knows what he's doing. Not even Charlie knows what he's doing as he's going in, taking health packs, lands on a random scout at top and starting to now pick off things with his team one by one. And it's looking much more structured, much more stronger here for CSG. And they're just linking up and playing off the same targets, the easy targets, all together at once.
Yeah, the soldiers there for CSG were just absolutely monster. I think they got all 6 kills on that mid. I think Hans got a 4K and Charlie got a 2K. So soldiers can do some real work here. I was talking about it in the pregame a bit. I was hoping to see more out of Hans, and he definitely delivered on that mid. That's for sure. Not going to be quite enough to actually get onto this second point, though. Bit unfortunate. They're going to try and hold on to the yard. So this might be a real fight. Yeah.
Oh no, Horns is spamming. He's spamming from the left, so I was thinking he might get picked off early there. A trap coming out from Sneaky. Well, they definitely should have seen that coming, as now the exit wave practically cut off. They're being absolutely crunched and minced here, punished by Fancy, and just holding on that right-hand side. There's no excuses, Peter. That was a complete just throw by Swift.
Yeah, they walked into sticky traps and got absolutely munched. At that point, it is bad. It just when you're that far forward, when you've committed to a plan, and then all of a sudden you slip in the banana peel that is a sticky trap, you're just not getting out. Like you're already limping because you just you hit your hip or whatever. So yeah, that was bad. 2-0. Very nice position right now for CSG.
All right, so it's really weird as. They are playing a lot more defensive here on Swift and trying to isolate or deal with these soldiers better, but they're kind of just traversing the map in a very unpredictable way. They don't know really how to deal with comprehend. So many weak players over on Swift in comparison to CSG.
7, 9.
Hawks, Kamikaze, Warped, picked off as well. I think they were just trying to really keep their eyes over on the CSG soldiers, but they play this style of like they're not committing to players, they're committing to locations and kind of like do the rounds and just do any drive-bys they can catch on the way here, Peter.
Yeah, Mac runs into a scout around that corner. One of the scariest things to have as a demo man. I think you want to wear a diaper for that kind of situation.
Oh, Charlie, I don't think he's going to get out alive. Mac catches him off with a good trap. And,
bit of an overextension coming out there from Yeehaw and Charlie. Definitely a bit too much. But Sneaky has been taken care of. There's a scout in here on this second though. Yeah, so the pressure is still on. Hans so weak. I don't think he's going to be able to get out because Connor is now dead. Everyone's getting mulched. It's the 3 players up. I think, yeah, we're going to see the jump in here onto the medic. Soldiers coming in as well. Scout as well. Medic in the skybox glides around gracefully, gets out of it.
I wasn't sure what their objective was there. There was times where they were going for combat classes, then they were going for the medic, then they were going for combat classes again. Then they were, when they were on the push-in as well, some people wanted to back out, some people wanted to stay and commit to the fight. They were getting some nice picks early on going into these kills. I feel like if they just stood the ground and just did one thing, Beta, together, it would have actually worked out for CSG.
Yeah, I agree with that. But as it is right now, they're going to be staring down the barrel.
Early doors, just went straight in, cutting off the sentry gun upgrade and cutting off poor Beta from his points. And they already have medic capping off. They have returned from the resupply, but they get collapsed on by the rest of these Swift players here. There's no time for breath, there's no time for points, Beta, as they will just get a point on the board finally.
Yeah, really nice Uber push there, cleaned up very well. They had a huge advantage going into it, and they never let go of it. It's going to be 2-1 in favor of CSG still, but definitely a good round here for Swift because they lost 2 rounds in very short succession, and you don't want to have that kind of momentum going against you. So the fact that they're able to come back here, really, really going to help their mental state. You know, we've been talking so much about it.
Poor Mac. He's cut off on his health pack for a second there. The soldiers jump in from CSG. Have they got a tactic for this? It seems like they want to kind of ignore the CSG soldiers, try and go into the blob of CSG themselves, but they just hold their ground much better than Swift do against the opposing line of soldiers, and they will lose yet another mid here, Beta.
Yeah, only saving grace is that they do get the Connor pick. And we get the classic 6 for Condog. I want to say it's a fine, but I think it was Nasboy, right? That said it first. But yeah, that is Granary mid in a nutshell. Just throw your all the bodies into the enemy medic and demo, see what happens. But yeah, Mac getting cut off on his medkit there was definitely the deciding factor. What's kind of behind lines? He's going to come in from the side, takes down Hans. This is now a very uncomfortable situation. He has caught in.
Oh no, that was a hopeful pencil from Charlie there, and with him going down, and I think the scariness of taking over that flank as well has put poor CSG to kind of decide to back out here. They're stacking in this midpoint, but Charlie will still reconnect with the rest of his team in this forward respawn here, and it's back to more of a Swift dominant control of this map, or at least this round.
Yeah, Wiz have equalized now, and I think we're just going to see 2 soldiers getting buffed and maybe try to jump in. So far, Connor hasn't really been holding very far back. Like you can see, he's pretty far forward. So getting a soldier on something is pretty easy, but he does have a lot of room to maneuver on.
Oh.
Very nice cleanup there from his team and some good serve from Connor. Very evasive, very difficult to actually get to.
They can connect the electrons together there, Peter. They might maybe see the potential of throwing in an extra player onto Corndog there. While he is getting flung about, he does make it bare and raw for another player to kind of come in and maybe finish him off there. But they don't decide to do that. They will instead just go for one easy pick after another over on the second point. They have got the flank area kind of left in tatters as well. And Sneaky running straight in and running, well, not running out, but he's out.
Not really living up to his name. That was not very sneaky. He just ran straight into them and died. Not quite the play in that situation. His team will still be able to take yard though, but not a big deal. Yeehaw. Peeks forward. Probably could have died to that, but he will live to tell the tale. Live to fight another day. We're back here on second. This is one of the more fun stalemates on this map, in my opinion. You can do a lot of stuff on this stair. You can jump in soldiers from either top or bottom. You can jostle for space and run into sticky traps, that kind of stuff. You know, fun gaming.
Yeah, some actual options here, and some players even like to just do the sort of weasel on point thing, spam wall, if you will, on the second point. They're pushing top instead, seeing if they can get a cheeky kill onto any of these soldiers or some clean damage going off, but 2 soldiers into this tiny little doorway is a hard ask here, Peter.
Yeah, what they did last time was they kind of spammed top and then they jumped in the soldier through lower, and they actually didn't manage to get onto Connor. Connor's in a pretty interesting position. He's up on the pole
there. He goes down. They throw in that soldier from lower and he gets cleaned up as well. So every step there getting kind of jostled and destroyed. Gregory being pressured, a lot of low health on that medic, has to pop off the Uber, and they back out rather swiftly here on CSG against Swift's own name.
Yeah, really nice pressure coming on to Gregory there. No choice but to pop. He was about to get a fat rocket to the face. So now it's going to be full Uber out here for Connor. I don't see any really good sticky traps, only on one side. They're not too good. Sneaky's pretty far forward. Actually, sort of on the flank, but yeah, just gets crunched by Hans and Yeehaw there. Very nice job by them. They're going to stack this point, make sure that they get no forward spawners. They don't want to deal with a sniper in there. They do deny that, so they should know that there's not going to be anyone in there. Normally, you have to push the left side because there could be a sniper in spawn. But because of the way they made sure that no one was there, they know they can ignore that. So they can actually go in from the other side.
Yeah, these stickies delaying things ever so slightly, and the Yeehaw play with the idea of maybe trying to just Hail Mary run in there, but decides to respect it instead. They do gift them second after all, and with even Ubers apiece and them on their back wall here, they're in firm control. They take out one soldier trying to get in from one doorway, and they manage to get Charles in one, but he gets isolated and killed off. A nice attempt here in this stalemate.
He's going to barely survive that. Charlie tried to go for the speed shot, but he got hit by a sentry gun and it's very difficult to time a speed shot when you're being hit by sentry on some random fire. So he's gonna fail that and kind of just sit still. Let's see, do we have any weird stuff? Banners, as I mentioned, they're good. Not as good on offense here on this point, but they're fine. And I don't think we have any really cool unlock.
No coolness in this server here, Vita, but it draws into question now. You're looking at the time, you're looking at the score, and you're looking at your mid record as well. Are CSG in the best interest here of just delaying the time, exchanging time, and just letting things go to a reset if it comes to it?
No, definitely not. You want to cap here in this situation. There's plenty of time outside of this. You can lose so quickly if you just lose your meta on mid and get rolled into last. I feel like that's too dangerous. They actually get, oh my god, Fancy goes down. Nice little bomb in there from Danny. I think he was going for the medic, but Demo Man is a nice consolation prize for sure. It's gonna slow things down, but no one from Swift wants to really do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
They have a sniper, they have an engineer, not the most push-out friendly of classes, and it's all a time toll for them to rotate back around and kind of switch those classes out. So they will just kind of just take it as a little small victory in of itself. You're delaying this scary push from CSG, but there's got to be a greater game plan here for Swift if they want to turn things around here.
Yeah, they have a soldier in pretty far here on this right side. Gonna do some damage to this soldier. Wow, Scout's just cleaning up Danny really effectively here. Well, that's one soldier down. They can now spam down the center gun. It's so weak. There we go. They've done a really good job of creating a lot of space. The soldiers are pretty hurt for this, so they're not going to be able to jump in, but they've just switched sides now, and they're going to be able to walk in here. This is a very nice push so far.
Oh, they popped early, though, and I feel like they might have won that out if they didn't pop and show their kind of playing cards straight away over on CSG. I really liked their plan of just kind of, walking the ways out of the door and just kind of baiting these soldiers in, making them commit, and just trusting that the scouts can just dodge enough of the fire and punish these things. Because looking at some of these parts of the map, they are quite spacious. You have got some room to work it in these little areas that CSG are playing right now.
Gonna try and go into this right side. AMS is in so deep. No one really wants to challenge him. It looks like Charlie's gonna try and see if he can get onto this soldier. Not gonna be able to do so. They do take down the sentry gun, but now Connor's caught in. Oh my god, Connor made it out. Barely. Those rockets were whizzing about. He is gonna eventually go down as well. That was so close from Connor. He was playing with fire here.
Yeah, the man is, I guess, a firm believer in there's no such thing as a bad drop or something along those lines. I don't know what sort of silver line I could go through there, but you got to risk it for a biscuit. They've got rounds up on Swift here, so all that could do is just buy them a bit more time for Swift, but not really kind of heartbreaker this round out. They're going to go for the play again. They've really liked this corner play, and I have liked seeing it so far. They take out the sentry gun as well. They're seeing if they can just get some easy pickings on this, but usually this push goes curtains. The second the soldier from SCG commits in and goes down.
Oh, Connor has to pop in. And they're actually going to Uber onto this Devil Man. Take him down.
Mag.
Yeah, he just gets dropped completely. They're just like, no, we don't care. They actually take down two players.
Worrying, actually.
Yeah, they didn't take the Uber out of Granary, but they took down two players, so now they're almost certainly going to pressure.
Yeah, they pop off now, but if they back out here, and it might be a good place. They have the Uber advantage in all of this exchange, and they're just holding second point in a way that might cause problems in Swift trying to push out here. So they're just going to have to take the L and just take the advantage loss.
Yeah, we have about 20 seconds left, and at this point I don't think we're going to see Swift push out. Granary is relatively easy to push in onto second from last one, but I at this point I think you're better off just taking this last point. Hans actually goes down to Shappy. They're jumping into a heavy. This almost never ends well. Actually, Scout gets a lot of time onto the point, but this is just a meat grinder. Connor gets an Uber at the very end here. All right, can one sticky bomb kill literally everyone? I think the answer is no, but he's going to try his best here. Fancy doing his darndest, but at the end of the day, it's going to be another stalemate. Going to get a round reset. Going to be 2-1 still in favor of Comedy Shorts Gaming. And these mids have looked pretty decent for them so far, although they have been unable to keep Connor alive.
Yeah, not the best scenario for the CSG, but they have been having a long streak of victories on this midpoint, so they might feel a bit cushy here. A lot of time wasted, a time that Swift could be taken to get back into the game, but an opportunity to get back in the game this is. So it might be 50-50 happiness here in the servers of these two teams. Let's see how they take on these mids out. Both soldiers, synchronized swimmers, both jumping and darting around at the same time. Haunts gets focus onto the enemy medic. That will be Gregory going down. Connor goes down during all the counts as well. It's a mirror matchup, and Nicky has got more health than everybody on the map combined, but he's just one shot away compared to all the 3 shots that could come out of Swift on that mid.
Yeah, Swift, they win this mid, but only by about 80 HP. It was pretty damn close. This time around, they will just edge him now. It's pretty incredible just how fast the medics are dying on these mids. There's just no mercy from anyone. There's no, maybe we should go for someone else instead or play it slow. No. Just get on the medic and kill him immediately. So we're going to see Comedy Short Gaming. They're going to set up here on Yard, try to sticky up all these doors, make sure you can't really come through, get an easy force out. And meanwhile, we're going to see Swift to see if they can maybe force their way through somehow. Charlie's really far forward. I think he's just looking. I can't imagine him actually wanting to jump in.
Nah. Doesn't dare. And I'm surprised nobody wants to block a crits during all of this sort of going down at the same time medic shenanigans. You know, that race to the Uber charge again. But don't really see too many crits nowadays, Vita.
Yeah, we saw 2038, the French team, use it quite a bit. I don't know if that's like a patchouli thing or let's just crits Elicor because he's Elicor thing. But outside of that, yeah, we really haven't seen it. It's pretty incredible how little we see crits used these days. And I mean, I don't blame them on this thing, right? Like you're just going to crit through a choke and then get demolished. But Charlie's going to go through this same choke and get demolished. So he goes back out. There you go.
You're going to get demolished either way. Why not throw some critical hits in there? I don't know. But
it doesn't matter if you're getting demolished. Yeah.
Alright. No banners, no nothing, no crits, no unlocks. The item server right now might as well be dead except for some hats here and there. And 2 minutes left. 3 minutes is probably a closer story to say.
Soldier's in.
He's still not out. They actually craters. They couldn't quite finish him off, but I guess they're perpetually keeping him in the air there, and it's a long time to reload all those rockets. So
yeah, Haunts is in as well. Gets one nice rocket onto this man.
Oh, what a bomb! Coming out from Haunts there, a tie turner of a soldier as he comes in. A clean rocket to start off, a nice air shot directly up as well, Beta. That was nice.
That's a counter-sack if I ever saw one. They're going to try and see if they can get down Danny. They do. Second soldier now jumping on into the corner.
The scout got in behind, though. They have to go back to second to deal with that. Okay, well, he's dealt with.
Yeah, really beautiful stuff there. They're just on top of it. Take mid for free. I think they're going to try and stack it once again. Yeah, you can see everyone just being called on. Okay, they just give up on it. I think they saw someone spawn in there. I think the only thing they cared about is that there can be a sniper in spawn. And as soon as Danny spawned, it was like, okay, doesn't matter anymore. Because indeed, Danny is just sniping.
Oh, it does almost get Haunts with a body shot, but fortunately he's a very high HP class going into second. And yeah, 1 minute left. The writing's looking about written on the wall here, Beta, and I hope you've got a pot of coffee on, because we're going to a best of 3, probably, in all likelihood.
Yeah, it's, well, let's not sell the boat just yet. We do have even Ubers right now.
I don't know, but Peter, it's 1 minute. 1 minute till the boat, kind of can get sold. I feel like this eBay sell of the boat is kind of done here. The bidding has ended, and it looks like CSG have won the bet.
Yeah, but now we have the Uber exchange. Looks like Swift have just retreated back through the doors. That's a bit confusing. I think they need to get out here. They want to take these fights. They want to try and get behind Swift. Maybe spread them out a bunch.
Oh, Danny going in, immediately getting kind of focused and destroyed it. The scout's trying to get out. Oh no, that's a lot of damage. Focus on that one square area that Swift all want to be occupying, and that is definitely a sold boat.
Yeah, it's going to be all on Gregory. Gregory needs to get in there, kill Yeehaw, take it all the way back into last. Somehow he failed at doing that. Yeah, they tried to push out there. didn't make it through the doors. It's 3-1. It's going to be the official score, basically 2-1. But they knew what they had to do at that point. So we are going to a third map, as you said. This should be very interesting, and it is Process, the granddaddy of all competitive maps. I feel like it has definitely shown itself to be the one true map of Comp TF2.
Yeah, it is turned into the poster boy, Badlands, who, as a Process, will be a nice decider. It's kind of actually decided, the one that doesn't get banned or picked at all, the map that anybody has any grudges or preferences towards, will be kind of an all-rounder for all the classes to feel good in. Almost like an amalgamation of a lot of the maps as well. So, end on the better line. Both teams have a map under their pockets. It is on each other's picks, however. So that's a... Wait, is it? Oh no, that's on their own picks actually. Okay, excuse me. So they're maybe it's everyone's feeling a bit kind of all's going to plan here for both teams now, but I don't know what all little advantages or points could we give to these two teams now? Is it as even can be, Beta?
I think the momentum is in favor of Comedy Shorts Gaming. I feel like the scouts were slightly better on Granary. It seemed like whenever there was a big fight, especially in the mids, it seemed like the Swift scout were getting outclassed just a bit by AMS and Nikki, aka Yeehaw. And then obviously we saw at the very tail end there, we saw Haunts getting the big metagear shot. That's gonna be a real confidence booster, right?
Zoob has finally stopped downloading Pride and Prejudice, and we have power to these logs.tf servers. So head on over to the logs. I want to see the difference in the deaths between these medics again, because that's what I called out last time, and I feel like, yes, it's looking much sharper now. Corndog is kind of reaching more of the deaths underneath Swift now in comparison to the first map as well. So they've really reared in the punishments coming out from Swift in this map.
Yeah, it's the 2 drops on Gregory that really hurt, I feel like.
Oh my, yes they did.
Yeah, those were really key. And we saw Haunts. Like, look at that top damage. Lots of kills.
Yeah, he was a force in the mid, and he was a force in the, believe it or not, as just a traditional sacking roamer. When's the last time have you seen a single soldier sack in and actually accomplish something?
Yeah, it's not that often that you see it. It really helped that it was like a pretty quick counter sack. It wasn't just a sack in. There was like one player less on the enemy team, and they might have been busy trying to create space for their own suicider. But very nice job by him, because he didn't really have a whole lot of support going in there. He just kind of did it on his own, and that never really works, but except when it does.
There's something to be said about the unlikelihood of throwing one soldier in, because if you're a medic and you're looking at one soldier that's jumping in, you're like, nah, my team's got this, he's not going to kill me. And that's when those drops come out, you know. I counted him out, you counted him out, he probably counted himself out, but he got the fall and the drop onto him, and it yielded the biggest reward and the exact reward that they needed to turn around that map. I say turn around, they were kind of winning, but still, you know what I mean, change the momentum.
Yeah, it was like the nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
You know, the dot over the I, whatever you want to say.
Cross of the T, ending all the sentences. All right. Process. Talk to me about Process, Peter. Is anybody actually going to be happy that we're switching to this map at all? I feel like it's quite an inoffensive map to all classes in this server.
Yeah, soldiers can do a lot of really nice, fast rollouts. They can do a lot of really fast bomb-ins. Probably a bit less powerful now that Market Gardener has been banned, but still, like, soldiers are going to be real playmakers, and the scouts love this map. They have so many little obstacles and high ground areas that they can just cover with ease. Scouts tend to really dominate Process, and I mean, Demo Man is just also good on it.
Fast rollout, baby, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Pop open a Kado YouTube channel, check you're throwing your stickies right. You know, beef it anyway, because you meet a soldier at mid that goes there super, super quickly, and you die at the health pack. Ah, good times.
Yeah, never do a fast rollout, because there's just some nerd on the other team that's even faster and gonna kill you, right? So just waddle to mid like a real man. And don't even worry about it.
All right, so when it all comes to push and shove, Beta, I'm going to force a prediction out of you. I haven't asked you for a prediction so far, and I just can't help it anymore. I need to know who's going to win.
I think Comedy Short Game is going to win 4-2.
Oh, a scoreline as well. Ooh la la. Well, I'm going to mirror flip your thing. I'm going to say it's going to be a 4-2 to Swift. And they're going to make some poor nerds cry and probably make some poor nerds fold as well, as per qualifier traditions. And, and they're looking like a team as well, Comedy Shorts Gaming, where, it's... don't have I don't think they have the mental fortitude to survive a Div 1, let alone, decide to play it.
Yeah, I really think they want to be in Prem, and just looking at the players, they should be in Prem.
Yeah.
But then again, Swift Gaming is a really good team, and you should never ever count them out. They've really taken them all the way to the very edge of their ability right now, and you can't just come back in and immediately be at the top of your game. I think that's clear.
They have been scrimming a decent chunk. I think everybody's been scrimming, actually. It's kind of shocking. I was thinking some of these teams would kind of be stapled together last minute, but I don't know what happened with that. I'm surprised none of them have collected enough screenshots in time.
I think we do, but it's just I really feel like there's been a bit of a try-hard period in TF2 right now. I feel like maybe it's powered by all these lands, maybe.
Oh yeah.
That just going to make people want to take things a little bit more seriously than they otherwise would, because we are just entering a period, or we're kind of in the middle of a period that has a lot of lands, both in America and in Europe. So it's an exciting time, but even if you play a lot, like the AMS that we see right now is not peak AMS, Well, it's gonna take a little while.
Right. I mean, but he's a reformed man. He's not toxic anymore. Have you not heard? This is a reformed, changed person, Peter. No more snaking around.
But surely being toxic is what makes you good at TF2.
Oh,
Isn't
that's
that how it works?
I was going to say, you have to back up all that toxicity. You can't be toxic and bad. That's just not a combination anybody's happy with.
And yet every single pub server seems to be comprised only of those people. I don't understand. Anyway, we're live. We will be right. Is Swift going to take out the Comedy Short Gaming, dash their dreams, or are they going to go back into Div 1?
Oh, I don't think any of those options are going to happen. As we are entering our third map, it is Process, it's CSG versus Swift, and oh my god, two nerds on one mid-beta meeting Fancy on this thing. He doesn't even go near the health pack, he just waits patiently for his team to slowly come in, and Swift give him the credit to actually let their team come in. So playing very defensive, feeding each other out here. A couple of scouts catching some pipes over on Swift here, and that's got to be curtains for the rest of this mid-beta.
Yeah, Mac is completely alone in this mid. No way he's ever getting out. And it's just going to be a scout chaperoning out his medic. Very quick jump in there, but no. Gregory's a bit too fast with the scout Uber. Just taking him out. Not an Uber charge, but like a taxi.
The taxi service, yes.
Important distinction in Team Fortress 2. But
times are changing, we don't call them taxis anymore. We're Uber, we're down with the kids. Is that the current app used? I don't know, it could have changed again now.
Yeah, I don't know. They've never really been in Denmark, so it's not a real thing here. All right, Shappy just chewed up Charlie really quickly there. Just sometimes jumping into a heavy is just comically quick how fast you die. But either way, Charlie, he's going to have a chance now to get on either Banner or Sniper or Soldier or Spy.
No,
actually,
Spy.
They're going to run Amps back, and he's going to go Sniper.
So, Am Sniper. It's I don't know how to feel about the Am Sniper. I mean, at the one hand, he's a legendary name, he has a legendary aim, all that stuff. But at the same time, the man is finally getting some years on him, Peter. He was but a child then, but now is he an old man or is he just a man?
Oh, I think he's just a man. He doesn't feel like he's old at all.
Oh, he gets a shot onto Gregory. That's a warning shot coming out from the Finnish player, and they do lose horns in all of this kind of waiting about here, but one player does not make a tasty bounty for this second push out, and they're going to turn back to the man, Macaulay Culkin, and see if he can get an easy sniper on someone. He shoots the wall and trying to kind of, that thing that snipers do where they swipe across and they press it randomly, and they think, I'm sure the aim assist will just kick in at some point. This is Halo, right?
Yeah, it's the classic trigger bot type aim. All right, you just swipe and hope your timing is good. That's a real thing. It's actually a pretty decent way to aim in some situations, to be fair. But yeah, it is pretty funny how it works. But also just running sniper on this map is pretty good, because if you lose a soldier like we just saw, you just pull the sniper back, and then pushing into him is super uncomfortable for the medic.
Possibly in the sightlines there. Oh, AMS brought down low and actually brought down, and that's got to put things on a little slight delay here, but it's a small victory for Swift, as just will delay things and keep giving AMS enough opportunity. He will eventually do summit.
Indeed, it is a matter of time. Looks like he's not going to play sniper again. He's just going to go on to scout. Maybe that's going to be a sign that they want to send in a soldier. Never mind. They just take down Shappy here on sniper.
Trade,
yeah, it ends up being a trade. They could have probably had that not be a trade, but still, when there's one person down, especially a spam class, that's going to give you more area to move around in. And just whenever you're one person down, it kind of favors the attacking team in that you can do stuff, and the enemy team, they're not going to be able to push out, because they're not going to be able to look at all the doors and not get be pushed on. So in that way, you can definitely abuse it a little bit as the attacking team. But they lose another player, so they're going to have to...
Look, Shappy.
Yeah.
He was peeking at the door for a second now. I was a little worried. I decided to cut you off there, Vita. I just saw Corndog. I saw Shappy in the doorway. Potential for shenanigans here, but no shenanigans has. Corndog playing very reserved. He's an old man. He knows he is an old man, okay? And he will know that that sightline's just the death of any old medic. So he's still staying way out of it. Just letting his team kind of just like walk into one, see if he can get this free spam onto Granary over behind the points, maybe even get a free Mac kill.
We have a scout that tried to sneak in, didn't quite make it there. It's pretty interesting how they're deciding to play this. Like the double scout in the worst area for a scout to be in, this little enclosed tube of an area.
Oh, there we go. That's how you snipe in. No swiping, no funny aimbotting.
Hans on 1 HP wins the soldier duel. Back in the old days, he would have absolutely died to some self-damage as well, but not today.
They're pushing for the lobby area. They're kind of throwing everybody in and...
oh no!
Oh dear lord! Corndog's gone down to a random pipe of Mac, and everybody is switching off classes here, Peter. Oh, the alarm bells have sounded for Swift. Ooga, we're going in, boys.
Yeah, Witness wouldn't have pushed on this, but Swift is not that passive, it looks like. They want to get out here and use their Urat to get onto mid. They don't want a mid fight. No stinking mid fight. They take this very easily. No sneaky traps or soldiers so
pushing
far.
And from IT, they've got a quick early jump onto Mac. No sticky bombs being launched away this time. They do lose Danny in all the crossfire, and in all this sort of ammo spent, CSG kind of look at the health bars and wait, we're actually pretty healthy. We can go back in. We can actually get a kill onto Warp and block the point. Maybe even a scout kill to boot. And oh my god, it's that old thing we were talking about, Beta, again. They did everything right and they're being punished for it.
Yep. It's a bit unfortunate that Yeehaw will overextend again. He's been overextending quite a bit. I know Yeehaw is very good when he can be aggressive and he's not going to miss shots, so he tends to be very aggressive, but he's been punished for it quite a few times right now, and it seems like Mac knows what he's up to. But they're going to go in here with this Uber ad. It's not very big, though. I called it an ad, but they're going to be running into an Uber of their own.
Well, they could chase down Corndog here. He's trying to get out and does actually get out of the danger area of Swift. And to Swift's credit, they don't want to commit in either. Charlie trying to punish off any sort of overextensions here. And my god, there is a lot of overextending from everybody. They just hate everybody overextending, and they overextend for each other's overextensions.
Yeah, Hans again going to try and jump in here. It's a scout in as well. See if he can get onto the medic, and look at that.
Oh, wow.
This time it wasn't an overextension. He got it. Granary down. There was just so many things going on that eventually someone got in close enough, and Yeehaw, his aim was true.
Yeah, and Stickies will go on point. CSG playing very conservative all the way back, not giving any excuses for Swift to kind of get a random kill onto Corndog, and I'm sure they're probably thinking a bit more conservative after what's happened to him as well. So they're in the potential to get around on the board early here. It's a good advantage going into this second point. They pop off early against the Shappy sniper. They've got Kritzkrieg running as well, keep in mind, for Swift. There's potential turnarounds. They clear off the point with stickies. They throw a soldier on there to block for now and kind of delay some time. The heavy weapons guy is out and roaring, but they're losing players one by one, and Sneaky's just being spread too thin. 1 player, 2 player, 3 players, all dragging in from different ends and corners of the map, and it will finally go the way of CSG if anybody is in doubt.
Yeah, Yeehaw getting into that bunker, just standing behind lines, just doing so much work. Really great job by him. He's cleaning up everyone, and that's going to be the first round coming out here from Comedy Short Gaming. Pretty slow round overall, but hey, I've seen worse for sure. No round reset or anything.
Alright, Mac playing very, very conservative all the way back, waiting for some healing from his medic, and they're deciding to play off in this corner again on CSG and just kind of control these soldiers. The soldiers aren't really too effective here from Swift at all, and with those 2 soldiers cleaned up, the scouts are let loose. It's time to go on a double scout spree. They're running players down from different angles. Granary is going to go down as well. There's 1 scout going to get revenge and kill that Shappy, but yeah, I think they just do a head count of the soldiers and then the scouts are let loose there, Beta.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about this for Swift going into this. AMS and Yeehaw just going in full cleanup mode, killing everything. Decided not to go on to the second point here. A bit more passive. They want to get more players in here. Pretty interesting. Eventually they are going to send someone in here. Swift, they're not even thinking about it. But I think Comedy Short Gaming were kind of thinking that, oh, they're just standing around these corners waiting to jump in when we overextend. But Swift, no, they were just chilling on last. That's a big Uber ad here for Connor as well. He should definitely be able to get in here in time. Just as long as it doesn't drop to Shappy.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, it was a convincing last push last time, so they just need to replicate the secret source again. We take out the sentry gun. There's now next for the scout to pressure off this mid cap. Soldier comes in as per usual, and Charlie is getting some nice clean damage onto that thing, and they actually cap off the point. They don't even prioritize getting on the point as well in their attempts on Swift to solidify that blob.
Yeah, just forcing everyone into spawn. And once everyone was out of the way, they just put players on the point and kept it out really cleanly. So very strong play right now for CSG. They're definitely in the driver's seat right now. Hans,
oh no,
very
Mac went
quick.
early. A nerd on mid. Horns will go down, so that's an early, but oh no, Fancy coming around the corner. Fancy getting another sort of sync up kill with the soldier as well. So Demoman out. Danny is like, oh dear lord, I set up a whole spree of rocket jumps with this mid and I have to waste them now, get it out.
This is why Muma and Nomlong are the greatest demos of all time. They would never have been caught out like that. They just waddled to mid like real men. But anyway, lots of players going in here right now. The pressure is real. Mid hasn't been capped, I should mention, right? They're just kind of baiting for a fight here in CSG. Eventually they are going to retreat, but that was a pretty interesting positioning that they chose to take there.
So 2 rounds up, cushion established, 18 minutes left. They've got Swift on their second point and they look a bit rattled, to be honest. Everything has gone so cleanly for CSG, and they're throwing 1 distract soldier, 1 main soldier to kind of get into the brunt of things. Gregory takes a pipe as well during all of this, and yeah, they do get a couple of players down for CSG, but nothing really. Oh, Warp's getting some things happening on flank, and Danny, though, he's a 1-man warrior on this choke and will get cleaned up just as easy as well. I think if they just slow down these players and check their advantages here, Swift might have an opportunity to do things, Peter, coordinated though.
Yeah, they decided to just go for the counter sack, and didn't quite work out for them. It was just eyes on him. Sometimes they hit their shots. Not a lot you can do. So we are back to the same. Oh, the Demoman's in.
Catch the fucking speed limit on that Demoman, and he just came roaring out of the corner straight on top of Gregory. That is a Demoman lost for CSG. That's an expensive sack for that blue team, and if they can hold these doorways, it will be challenging, however. No guaranteed fancy sticky traps that we've been seeing from Snakewater, and they go spread thin, playing off the spam. The scouts are in full focus mode. Pick on that Demoman, they say. The exchange Ubers between everybody, and for every trade that happens here, Beta, they will win out a bit more because of that resupply and back cap potential.
Yeah, Yeeha's threatening the back cap right now. He is way behind lines. Gonna try to two-shot Shappy, but Shappy will two-shot him instead. It's careful what you wish for. As Yeeha, he wanted that 1v1. Oh, okay. That was fancy. I think realizing that he was never getting out, so he just went full in. Hawk's gonna save. Okay. That was very optimistic by him, but sometimes that works out, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Tons of damage.
Yeah, I guess the trade onto the scout, that does delay cap things for Swift, however, and every sort of person that comes from that forward resupply does kind of lean a bit more into that fight, but they play things a bit safer on CSG. I think they're getting a bit big for the boots here, Beta. That was very confident going into second point, and they quickly realized this is not going to work.
Yeah, Gregory, he has the Uber right now, whereas Connor does not. I don't think they want to really do anything about it. See Charlie, yeah, expecting a pushing choke. Nothing really to be found there. Soda's going to jump in now. Oh, nice first rocket. Actually, a pretty good second rocket there as well. Warped, however. Not able to find it, and Sneaky got taken down. I think he was trying to just sneak his way in there.
Yeah, playing from PC. Oh, Hort comes in. A massive kill to Gregory. And they just didn't see it coming. Who was watching that flank, Peter?
I don't know, but Yeeha was just absolutely murdering people as well on the flank. And there was some really crisp directs coming out of Charlie as well from the flank, I think. So it just all worked out for them there. And Gregory, again, unfortunately, he's been sort of center stage here with dropping these Ubers. That gives his team a big disadvantage. And again, Swift, they're not really even on second. Like, Mac tries his best to make it look like he's doing something, but he's not. He's just back on last, setting up. And there's going to be another Uber disad push for Swift Gaming here that they have to deal with. And so far, they have not been good at dealing with them.
No, they need to prioritize. They've lost in two different ways. One was just the point being capped too early with no pressure, and one was just being picked off in a slow little fight as well. So they find that very nice balance here. They take out the sentry gun quickly. They deal with the people on point again. The soldiers are actually a bit more healthy this time. They managed to rotate their ways back around in, but they're losing too many people on these flanks, on these these skirting edges of poor Swift's little last point, and they've lost the slow fight this time, Peter.
Yeah, indeed. Just again, it seems like CSG, they just get soldiers or scout behind lines, and that's enough to just completely tilt the fight in their favor. It's pretty interesting how keen they are at actually clearing out the bunker just to make sure that they have that high ground space so that they can win the fight afterwards. Mac with the failed fast rollout. He's so weak.
He hit the fast rollout for clout, but then actually didn't commit, get in. What you could do with the fast rollout. So he actually played things a bit safer. And oh my god, they throw two soldiers behind him, and poor Warp gets killed there. But that does give foothold for Swift to actually get some ground on this mid, because it was like two soldiers were unaccounted for that mid fight. Oh, fancy some nice little pipes and stickies there to get a free kill onto a scout, and the Domino just falls that point on. Oh, Gregory's going to go down and a delay, and yeah, that's a 19-second respawn for the medic. Another ×2 cap. It's getting closer.
Looking for Connor. Okay. There's no way Connor walks into him, right? There's no way. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give it credit, Beta. They were closest on that one so far.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty close. It was just, once things started going south, they were just too committed, and they got taken down. We ended up with Mac just taunting on point, just going, Hunter's in again. This time around, he gets body blocked by a scout. Second soldier not going to be able to fare much better, it looks like, but he doesn't need to get onto the medic. Everyone else has just been picked off. These suicide waves are great. They're just not suicide. Connor does end up going down. But still, this is really good. They get time onto the point. Danny's going to be spawning here with Sneaky, but they're going to have their work cut out for them trying to get onto point in time. There's a soldier at the spawn. Yeah, it's going to be too much damage, too much knockback. 4-0 here. So Swifties need 2 rounds, and I was right.
God, is it already just 5-0 in the hearts of every gamer in this server now? Oof. I don't know. I feel like these soldiers are not getting like spotted early enough these days. They just kind of get in these doorways 4-3, and they're kind of shocked every single time by these players getting in. Even when they lose players on the flank and they know that a soldier just killed them, a soldier's going to come in. He's not going to just give up the flank for free. They set up early on Swift. They all just walk together in that corner. It's a very committal mid from both teams, cutting off their exit ways here. So whoever wins this out will win it off clean and strong. No medics.
Connor has gone down, so I think we're about to see a full-on push going into Granary. It's just going to be Yeehaw and Fancy that are left. And yeah, Fancy's not committing either, so great mid coming out of Swift right now. Turning it around. This is the time to do it. You don't want to bleed another round because then it's just over. Let's go in there. Let's go Swift. Get back in.
I say your prediction is coming alive before our eyes, though. They actually are getting some rounds on the board. I mean, 11 minutes on the clock, mathematically possible, but improbable here as they are in the server here, SCG, and they could just put a really dampening brakes on things and just make things really awkward for Swift.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to dig yourself out of the hole when they banned the good shovel. You know, that's just kind of how it is. But they're Ubered in now onto last. Take down the center gun very quickly. They're trying to clear out the point of Sneaky's not really doing a good job of it, though. They're so far back. They haven't cleared out the bunker or anything. Scout on the point of so much time, but that's all they have going for them. Max not long for this one. There's a scout on the side. That's probably the bigger issue right now. But I don't think... Oh my God, they're just clearing them out. They're clearing them out. Wow, I lost faith. Be of little faith. Repent, because they just got this anyway.
Yeah, they did make Swift sweat for it a lot harder than SGG ever had to sweat for it on these last points. I think it's the difference in where they're holding when the Uber comes in. They actually keep a soldier in that bunker area who holds it a bit longer than any of their attempts in the previous Swift defences, and things could turn about here. It's another mid, it's another Sora, as Mac is still being bullied and pushed into the corner again. They're going for the same mid this time for Swift, as it worked so well for them last time. Again, switching sides of the map, it does mean whoever wins, wins. Whoever loses, loses hard on these mids, as there's not much exit avenues.
Yeah, Danny with the stick kill. Gregory survived for a very long time, but at the end of the day, it was just too much here. Sneaky's going to have to kill everyone. There you go. Gets the last two. So that's going to be another Swift win. 51 HP is all they need to actually take that mid.
Yeah, they're just finding, I guess, a good groove of dealing with these aggressive players that go into them in these corners here. And I think they just spend so much resource trying to chase some of these players over on SCG that when everyone was spent on ammo and looked to their health, Sneaky had the opportunity, and he did, thankfully, clean up everybody.
Yeah, Connor's actually a pretty substantial advantage. Did you just spawn early, or is he on the Sneaky crit streak?
I think he just spawned early. I think he went down early as well, so it makes sense. Danny, potentially getting punished here. Oh, and God, SCG are just taking the easy kills that are delivered to them one by one. And what happened, Swift?
I think they're feeling the time pinch, even though it's not that crucial yet. It shouldn't be that urgent, I don't think. There's still 9 minutes remaining.
Was that save your friend syndrome? I feel like it started off with Danny just going in, taking some odd rockets, trying to get out. Some players kind of trying to overextend for those overextensions. Actually, that sums up quite nicely. A lot of overextending for people that they feel was overextending on both teams.
Yeah, the Uber comes in. Charlie was in very deep. AMS has gone down as well. This is not a very good push so far. But once again, they have taken command of the bunker. I think they're retreating and just leaving the demo man there. And, okay, Fancy, let's see you be a hero.
They must know he's in there.
I don't think they know. They would have cleaned him up by now.
No, they must know. They must know.
There's no way they know.
They must know.
There's just no way. Oh, Soldier.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, he's actually going to cap it.
Oh, no.
He's actually going to cap it.
He's just standing.
Oh my God.
Just like they blew it up.
I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm flabbergasted. All right, well, that is the 5th round on the board. I think that is all per ETF2L changed rules, where just first to 5 now, no 5-round difference, and it goes out with not a bang, not a whimper, but a demo man just kind of sneaking his way in.
Yeah, it would have been better if he taunted, but I understand that he had to dodge damage and stuff. But there you go. Comedy Shorts Gaming make it into Prem. They have a lot of Prem old timers in there. AMS, Connor, Yeehaw all have so many seasons in Prem, and they will be bringing along Fancy, who's a pretty newish demo man. Haunts, I think this is Haunts' first season in Prem. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he was in there last season. I forget, but it's pretty exciting. And then
fun team. I could see this team actually getting off rounds or points even from any teams, even the top 2 teams coming into this season. So it'd be interesting to see, Vita. Anyway, before we send our congratulations and commiserations and the flower bouquet to all teams involved, is there anything we want to say before we sign off here on our TFTV stream?
Yeah, congratulations to Comedy Shorts Gaming for making it into Prem, and commiserations to everyone in Div 1 who has to deal with Swift Gaming.
Sad days. All right, we're going into it. We're ending things. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. I've been TurboTabs. With me has been Beto on the Codecast. JMaxchill on that Max production. And also, it has been our coverage of CSG versus Swift. And we'll see you, I think, just for some Prem now. That's it. No more qualifiers. See you there.